Hey, welcome back to another episode, Bulls fans. I'm RJ and this is Scott. I'm pumped,
This is a
mate.
cracking start.
Mate,
You're
this
Scott,
is, mate, you know
I'm
what?
RJ.
It's almost as bad as what Sydney FC endured this evening because that was absolutely atrocious from the Sky Blues. Sydney is not Sky Blue. Sydney is purely Macarthur this evening. Sydney's Moo, some would say, Scott.
Well, you know what? Look, this is the biggest derby of the year for me as a Macarthur fan. This is the one you want to win.
Not
this
derby,
one,
not
and,
derby.
mate. It's a derby for me. I don't care. I don't care what they said. And look, they may not think we're competitive enough for it to be a derby, but mate, they weren't very competitive tonight, and we'll have to unpack all of that.
3 points, 3 goals, more than 3 reasons to be confident about that display because overall, for me, I don't want to be overreactionary, but I thought performance of the season, things just seemed to click. And it wasn't due to having that extra player, because I thought for the most part, we were simply the better team on the day.
For me, look, the first 15 minutes, Sydney FC, I thought were quite dominant.
Fair call.
Kurto,
Wow.
another great game. He's top class. But after that 15 minutes, I just kind of felt we were in the ascendancy. In the middle, we were brilliant.
Yeah.
We were great all over. Now, I think we need to take a couple of steps back, and there's a good evening to Lexac. Mate, of course, we're good after that. How could you not be?
Mate, shining.
Shano saying Corica gets the chop, surely. Well, look, we'll come to that in a moment. But it's not looking great for him or Sydney FC, is it? Let's go back, though, because the first thing I texted you when we saw the lineup was, where the hell is Arzani? Not in the starting lineup. Everyone knows I'm a massive Arzani fan.
It's hard not to be because of the talent he brings.
Yeah, absolutely. But in the kind of Macarthur group chat we were having, there's no shocks that Arzani hasn't been clicking to his potential. We haven't seen the Daniel Arzani that we know we can see. And maybe this was that little bit of a wake-up call that he needed to see that this team can operate when he's not on the pitch.
But it's also, I thought, because I was at the game last week, as I was saying, because we had our little pre-match chat, if you will, and obviously that was the big talking point. And I said, part of it could be tactical, just to change things up, but part of it I also thought was due to him coming off last week. He didn't look 100%. I did think he was copying a little bit of a knock because he did get fouled a couple of times. So either way, tactically or just from injury preservation point of view, you got to say masterstroke from manager Super Dwight.
Spot on. And look, even there we saw De Vea, I thought was amazing.
Love him.
Shane saying here, how long till he gets his Aussie clearance?
Get him in, Graham.
Mate, I'd take him. Imagine him alongside Moy.
Yeah. Even Adam Peacock and James Dodd, who, of course, we've had on the show before, they were saying that's more remnant of the Vea that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, spot on. Look, and the lineup, there was a change. We know, particularly for Arzani, he wouldn't have liked being benched. But we also know that he's got the quality and talent to burst back in. For what it's worth, I thought Noon was really good. I can't actually pick a player who I wasn't happy with. I thought the whole team.
Even Holman come in, obviously. There was a lot of positive praise for him, and rightfully so. He had a cracking game. But obviously you made the reference to Kurto's initial save. But even the one where he played a little bit of sweeper keeper come out with that diving header, end up putting us into a clear chance that we're unlucky not to score. But, hey, the man of the moment, I know we're talking about De Vea because he's one of my favourite players, and we know we look like a more dangerous team in terms of open chance creation when he's on the field.
Yeah.
But Arabuli, the brace, building on from last week's winner, have we found ourselves a proper number 9?
Look, again, like you said, we don't want to be too reactionary, but I think this Bulls team has been crying out this season just for someone to be on the end of the chances we're creating. I think Carter's been really good in stints.
Yeah, he was very good when he came on last week as well.
Yeah, we know that Toure has some quality in there, but Arabuli coming in, he's scored now 3 and 2. He's finished that second goal. I had money on them.
Efficiency.
I had money on under 2.5 goals in this match. But, man, I still celebrated it. It was just a classy finish, cool, composed, and I like his physicality up there. He could potentially be the missing piece to the attack.
I just want to say about him, because obviously the headlines will be he scored 2 goals, he scored 1 last week. He's a potent finisher, and that's something that we've been lacking. And it's not just because of the finishing, it's because of the general chance creation that were mentioned. But he has a lot more facets to his game. Not only did he put the ball in the back of the net, but there were many times when he was dropping deep.
Hold up.
He was linking very well on the right-hand side, particularly, and even that glorious switch he did in the first half. And it was just a shame didn't lead to anything. But again, he's a more rounded player, and I dare say the more he gets fit, like De Villa, the team will be much better for it.
Spot on. Quick fire on this one. Who's winning the league?
Rhetorical, boys. 3-0. It's 2023 for the year for the mighty Moo. Up the Bulls. Come on.
City, Melbourne City,
They are
still,
strong
man,
outfit.
they're a good team. If I had to quick fire that, but let's get back onto this one because for me, I thought this result was a combination of two things. I thought it was a combination of the Bulls playing really, really well, but also a combination of Sydney FC playing really, really poor.
After that 15-minute mark, like you said,
they just dropped. And I mean, Redmayne had a good game. He made a few good saves. So I think they were quite poor. Steve Corica. Tell you what, even the crowd. I mean, people.
Well, Shano gave us the judgment call on Corica, and we saw a few people online already putting a red pen through him. I'll put it on the record. I've liked what Steve Corica's done in the game. He's a proud Sydney FC representative, but geez, the more these results, it's not even results. Football is very short-term memory. They could win next week, and people start to forget things. But there is a general trend that Sydney have just been playing below the expectations of that, proud club, so to speak.
Yeah, and they've got quality players, and one of them players is Joe Lolly, who didn't have his best moment, was dismissed. Now, I want to go on record saying I don't think it was intentional.
No.
I don't think there was intent to do harm.
Though.
It was dangerous contact. It was dangerous contact, and it looks like De Silva's injured. In his post-match comments, Dwight York was saying...
very unsure, wasn't he?
Didn't look great. He said it's still early, though, so we'll wait and see. But fingers crossed we don't lose him for too long because him and Yuli in the middle, it's just worked really, really well.
Just hope it's not as severe as what they're making it out to be. But like you said, probably... wasn't intentional.
No, I don't gauge that
because he lost control of the ball. He's just trying to get it back, obviously. But very reckless, and you can judge by his reaction. You can tell he felt sorry, but he knew it was the right decision. And it's unfortunate, but I'm just looking at some of the key stats, Scott. We've got them in front of us, of course, and we deployed a very strategic counter-attacking style that worked to our advantage well today. As I mentioned, Sydney, 12 shots. Macarthur, 23. We had 6 on target with respect to their 4 on target. Possession 42 in their favour, 58%. But overall, I just thought we were much more effective with the use of the ball, and we made better decisions in the space that we created as a result of playing in that more counter-attacking style. But 4 chances created. But again, it was just nice to see us be able to convert half chances into actual output.
Yeah, spot on. And I think a big part of that dominance was that middle.
Yeah, for sure.
Yuli was so composed on the ball. The way he's able to maintain his composure and his touch, even if he's got a couple of guys pressing on him, he's a class above. He's a quality player, and we missed him when he was out. That's for sure. Couple of comments here. It's not a surf and turf derby without a 3-goal win and a red card. Hard to argue with that, my man.
Could have been a second red card. We haven't even touched on that yet. The ref pulled out the red card, but then retrospectively overturned it with our decision. Thoughts?
I think that's the right call. I think that was harsh.
You know why
I think that was very
the
harsh.
call? Why I liked the call was obviously it would be nice to have put Sydney even more to the sword. But then that would have been the talking points after the match. Oh, yeah, you beat a team with 2 extra players on the field. And that shouldn't be the narrative. We were by far the better team, acknowledging that Sydney started off the better. But after we found our groove, and it actually started with De Villa's first driving run, if you recall it. So
he was at the heart of everything we did. You can't praise him enough.
It's just hard to find which particular player in the most stood out. And equally, like you said, who really let us down, because we didn't get let down at all when you think about it.
For me, Yuli's man of the match.
Yeah, I think obviously close call with Arabuli, because Noon put in that beautiful cross, by the way, for that first goal in first half stoppage time, beautifully converted. It does change the complexion of the match going in at half time with a lead rather than being 0-0, even though you're the better of the two teams. But then what I was most proud with as well, we done this particular match reaction after we sealed that dramatic winner against Wellington. We were up a man, but it looked like we were playing with a player less. Game management, I was much more impressed with the way they handled themselves after that red card. So
100%.
that's something that Dwight and the team must take credit for.
100%. Comment here from my man George. Hey guys, Merry Christmas. Loss doesn't hurt too much. It's not a real derby after all, according to their Twitter admin. Well, you know what? It maybe isn't a real derby, but God, the 3 points felt good to answer this question. How are you feeling on this Christmas Eve? Brilliantly.
Came early, my friends.
Brilliantly.
Christmas arrived here early.
Look, our next match is the Wanderers on New Year's Day. Hoping to get down there for that.
Out of the top three
be
as
a
well at the
cracker.
moment.
And another Sydney derby, right?
Another
How
one.
many of these can we have?
Absolutely.
Going into that match, early thoughts. Are you confident going in against the Wanderers?
I'm confident that we're starting to see more of the usual best 11. If we can get
But now we've lost
fit
to
and
Silva
firing.
too.
Let's hope not.
What a
Fingers
loss.
crossed. Don't be such a pessimist. It's
I don't think he's there
Where's your
next
Christmas
game.
spirit, Grinch? Scott?
Santa,
Come
that's
on.
what we want.
That's
Fit-
right. Keep the
fit to
because
Silva.
you're right. The crux, the fulcrum of that middle is so important. Assuming dangerously that they are available, and with Arabuli starting to find some match fitness as well. And you've got to remember the skeletons at the back with Kurdo, Aspro, Uskok. They've got a bit of a rhythm there now and some chemistry. Long and short of it, I feel cautiously optimistic for Wanderers because they deserve to be where they are. They haven't been really good in terms of their goal scoring themselves, but defensively have proven to be quite stubborn at the back, which is something we'll need to be even better because we won't get the same gifts that Sydney gave us.
I could see this one. Honestly, I could see us cancelling one another out.
Could be that.
In this match. I think it'll be a tight match. The boys probably out partying, reigning in the new year. No chance with Dwight, mate. I don't see Dwight letting
There
him
won't
party
be
too
all
much.
night Dwight.
No
There'll be
way.
all night sleeping, get ready for the Wanderers.
That's it. No, look, but I could see these teams cancelling each other out. But hopefully we can put some content out after that match too. We can react, fingers crossed, to 3 more points because that would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and our co-host Robbie as well, who's a passionate Wanderers fan as well, put up a good sort of summary of it. It could be a bit of attack versus defense, but I'd say, look, I reckon it'll be a bit more strategic defense versus defense because even though we won 3-0 today, it was based on the counter-attacking style. So, yeah, it'll be fascinating either way. Lots on the line. As we know, the ladder is very congested. We are third. Depending on how results go, we could drop down to 6th.
Yeah, it's a tight league this year. So, good comment here from Luke. A win could really push us along. We're on the way up.
2 in a row
Them on the
now.
way down. Yeah, look, could be risky words. They're fighting words, but we certainly are on the way up, and I feel a lot better with Arabuli in there. Bulls get the win, and Wanderers have no end product. You know what? It only takes a set piece, a penalty, or something.
A mistake,
Yeah.
a slip, anything can happen, and we've been on the victim side of that.
Last time we played Sydney FC, but let's not go there.
Let's not.
Look, it is Christmas Eve. Let's keep that positivity. To all of you watching, have a Merry Christmas with all of your families. Celebrate those Bulls points if you're a Bulls fan. Commiserations, not really, if you're a Sydney FC fan. What are you doing for Christmas, man?
Unwrapping some more presents in the form of highlights of this game, but overall just spending time with the family, reflecting and getting prepared for some more content because the English Premier League is back. Also, the fun never stops with It's a Football Thing.
No chance. So please make sure if it's your first time, leave a comment. Let us know what impressed you most from this match. Give us a prediction for the Wanderers match. And of course, leave a like on the video. All the best, everyone. Have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe and enjoy your football. Look after yourselves.